In the heart of Glasgow, at the historic corner of Race and Main, lies the northwest corner, a witness to the flow of time, echoing through the Mitchell Terry building.
Perhaps no other corner of the public square has been a witness to Glasgow's history than this corner. The intersection of Race and Main, the gateway to downtown through the west, has seen many travelers come and go.
One of the cornerstones of progress that has been here on this corner for over a century is the Mitchell Terry building. Built in the 1920s, the Mitchell Terry building likely replaced the Terry Mitchell building, which was located just up the hill on the southwest corner of the square, and was totally destroyed in a devastating fire in 1923. A deed from March 1st, 1925 shows that the new co-owners of this property were John Haskell Mitchell and Edwin Birch Terry. The will of E.B. Terry, recorded in July of 1937, shows that upon his death, his one-half interest was acquired by J. Haskell Mitchell and his wife, Lyra B. Mitchell, who honored his request that the name Mitchell Terry be retained. Later, property owners would include their children, John Terry Mitchell, Joseph Haskell Mitchell, and Marjorie Mitchell Clark. This three-story building had a major alteration in the late 1950s, early 1960s, when a modern facade was added to the front of the building, plus an addition on the rear of the building. This property stayed within the Mitchell family until 1986, when it was acquired by Larry Jewell, and in 2021, the new owner would be Patrick Gaunce. E.B. Terry is a name that is foundational to Glasgow's history. Associated with Glasgow schools, Mr. Terry has been referred to as a teacher and a professor, serving as a superintendent at the turn of the 20th century when the city took over a college building on Liberty Street for a graded school. Terry served for 22 years and oversaw an addition of a high school in 1907. He retired in 1924. Not only did he acquire the property at this location, but he wrote articles for the Glasgow Times until his death in 1937. Residents of Glasgow in the latter part of the 1900s will recall the elementary school on Columbia Avenue that carried his name.
A unique photograph that is perhaps the only known photo of Mitchell and Terry together shows the class of 1905, featuring Professor Terry with his students, one of which was the class valedictorian, Haskell Mitchell. Records show that the two were not only great friends and business partners, but they also traveled together. Mr. and Mrs. J. Haskell Mitchell lived on South Green Street in a beautiful home called the Maples. It is recorded that the Mitchell family was well known for gracious hospitality.
Mrs. Mitchell, none other than Lyra Breeding Mitchell, has a community center built in her honor, located on South Green Street. History shows a wide array of businesses located here. Before the present building, photos going back to the 1880s document a wide array of businesses, like a bakery and general store, a couple of millinery and fancy goods shops, and a dressmaker shop that featured the latest in ladies' hats and fashion.
Pictures show that groceries, glassware, dishes, even ivory soap were among a variety of goods sold. A boarding house was also occupied part of the space. Some names are present in photos that showcase tenants, but it's unclear what they sold. It is recorded that around 1910, the L.C. Ellis Drug Company was on the premises before moving into 1933 to the First National Bank building just across the corner on the North Public Square. The history of the Glasgow Square is well documented through a wide collection of photographs taken by many photographers that were located in the Mitchell Terry building.
Adolf Rapp was a German immigrant who came to Glasgow around 1870. Originally, there was a north-facing skylight window to aid his skill. His daughter, Lila Rapp, continued with a business known as the L. Rapp Studio following his death. Then, Tipton Renault Paul was a Monroe County photographer who came in to work in Glasgow, and later a studio in this building carried his name. His son-in-law, Joe Montgomery, would carry on the tradition of expert photography in the building until 1988. In 1934, Dee and Tish Holmes opened one of their many restaurants that became the main eatery for the Glasgow folks. Holmes' restaurant advertised, at one time, the place was open for 24 hours and was air-conditioned. Not only the locals enjoyed eating here, but occasionally celebrities stopped by. After Pat Boone, an unnamed daughter, stopped by in 1957, it seemed folks gathered afterwards just to sit in his chair. Jimmy Lowe captured a moment when country music's Porter Wagner and Dolly Parton enjoying a bite before performing at the Plaza Theater in 1971. Why, the list is long regarding the business life of the Mitchell Terry Building, from Dr. Fred Marshall's dentist office upstairs to hair salons like Latris Beauty Salon and Bill Howard's, later Max Durham's barbershop in the basement, plus notable other businesses that impacted this community.
New owner Patrick Gauntz has plans to rejuvenate the building to make it a continued presence for present and future generations.
In 2022, Bridge Kentucky, a nonprofit community initiative to support local children and families, commissioned artist Casey Page to design and paint a mural that bridges the past with the present and future, honoring individuals who have made important contributions to the history of Glasgow, Kentucky.
It is a beautiful reminder that many people and places, like the Mitchell Terry Building, have made important contributions to this place we all call home.